Hi guys, welcome back to the channel again. This is the sample we were sent and this is the one we created. So I'll be showing you step by step how I created this skirt. It's very simple. If this is what you would love to see, why don't you stick around? It's very simple for us to go through it now and it's beginners friendly. So this is a luxury skirt that she sent she wants to wear for an occasion. So let's start. So I folded my lining into two, and so first I folded my fabric into two and got the length measurement, the skirt length. So I minus 7 inches from this normal skirt length. That's what I'm counting: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the steps. I want the wideness to be 7, 7. Each step to be 7, 7. So I have minus it. I want the last step to cover up the entire measurement. Okay. So normally now from waist to hip is 9. From waist to the knee length is 19. So her waist measurement divided by 4, then 2 inches sewing allowance, and hip measurement divided by 4, 2 inches allowance. Then I make it a bit flare, like you can see in the video. Make it a bit A-line. It's just an A-line skirt inner that I did. From the hip, just slant your hand and mark straight the way I'm cutting it now. It's not too much. And those 2 inches allowance, I'm using it to sew. I am not removing the 2 inches allowance. Like now, you see where I'm cutting, that's minus the 7 inches. So that remaining 7 inches down to cover off her, to get to her ankle, will be the 7 inches wide of the fabric we are going to cut. That's what we'll use at the end instead of the lining getting to the end. So we've cut the front, we'll get the back, and there's no zip along exactly like that because I'm going to add elastic on the waist. Like the sewing allowance, the 2 inches sewing allowance I told you, I'm going to make use of all of them. Like her normal size, then the 2 inches sewing allowance is enough to be free on her body. So I cut exactly the front, the same thing with the back, no zip allowance. You can add your zip. This is the point you add your zip allowance if you want to add zip to yours. Okay, so I'm going to get the same shape for the back, and that's all for this cutting. I'm just going to join the 2 sides together. I'm going to open it and join the 2 sides, weave it, make sure I have a fine finishing before cutting the steps. So see how open it is. So I'm going to open and join it together. So while we join it together, I'm going to get, this is 3 yards of a fabric that I bought for her for the main dress. So I'm going to measure, and it's 3 yards that I folded like this. 3 yards was enough to gather each step. So I'm going, you see, I'm measuring 7 yards, 7 inches, 7 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I measured 7 inches. That was the length I wanted for this for the style, for the style inspiration that she sent. So this is what I'm going to do. And these 3 years, the length, you know how materials are in the market, is by 60, sometimes 62. So it was enough to go. If you check, it is 8 pieces when I cut it, and the style inspiration, if you check the steps, is 8 pieces. So we're going to count together. I'm going to be cutting it out. This is the first one. That's why I folded the fabric very well, so that I will get a straight line. There will be no rough edge or crooked parts. So the same thing I'm going to cut till I cut out all the lines that I drew on it. So we'll keep cutting. I just want to make sure that it is on a straight line. Every part will be equal. So see, after counting it, you get, I didn't get exactly that it's okay. Yes, I got it. So we are going to keep it to one side and open this to go and join it, the two sides together without any allowance. I'm going to join it together without any allowance, the two sides, then weave. So after joining it, weaving and ironing it, so this is the back. Like I said, I ironed it. Let's turn the front. After turning the front, the next thing is to draw lines on where we are going to join these pieces that were cut. We are going to get a base for it that will follow the line to sew, so that everything will be on a straight line and we'll get a perfect professional look. So I'll use my tape to measure. I will reduce so that they will lap each other. Since I got the length of my steps 7 inches, so I will reduce it to 5 inches, or even 4 inches. You can do 4 inches so that they will lap each other. That's what I will do. So after measuring that, count it to see if the steps I cut is enough. If it's not enough, you can add up. So I'm going to use ruler to draw a straight line, because why I'm doing this is that I don't want to get to the machine and I will start looking, is it on a straight line? You know, once you use ruler to once you use ruler to mark where you're supposed to match, you will not get worried. Even the clothes is rumpling on top of the machine, you will just be sewing following your chalk line. It's easier that way. So I don't know if you like a soft work. I love this soft work. So I'm going to use ruler to draw a straight line. If this is the front, I draw the straight line. I'm still going to flip the skirt, turn the back, measure it the 4 and draw a straight line too at the back of it, so that we can start joining the steps. So I'll be fast forwarding this video so that you already know that we are drawing a straight line, and the same thing we'll do at the back to count our fabric, the main fabric. You know, all these things we are doing. The base of this skirt is a lining. We drew on the lining. Then the main fabric is these steps that we are going to place on top. So it was not enough. I have to cut another 3 yards, the same measurements, 7 inches, and place on it. Place on the last step. So see the front. The front was marked, the back was back, because you are going to go round. There's no front and back again. We are going round. And you know, I added allowance just for us not to add zip measurements. Okay, now I've gathered it. This is the gathering It's just a small gathering. Each step I will gather it and place it round the waist. I first started from the waist till down. So how did I get that gathers? For beginners, let me just show you how I got the gathers. You set your machine, like now I'm setting my machine. I didn't turn the camera. I set my machine on 5 so it will be free. Then I'll sew on top. Make sure your thread did not cut. I sew straight. You can sew twice straight. Then you pick one of this thread to draw it. I know if you go a training center to learn tailoring, at least you know how to gather. But for beginners to have an easy understanding of these skirts, so this is how I got the gathers. After sewing straight, you gather it, but I didn't gather too much. Remember the story as we didn't get enough excess fabric, of which the 3 years length was enough. Was enough for this time. Altogether, the top and the skirt I did 5 years, but 3 years was for this skirt. This textile skirt, I set it aside for the skirt, and that is how I got only 3 years. So see it now. I'm going to pick one of these. The two, the down and the upper part. You can pick the down or the upper part and start dragging. This is for my beginners, people that are learning how to sew. So this is how we'll drag it easy, little by little. Be careful. If you drag it so hard, it will cut and you start from the beginning. So this is how I drag it and close. I didn't want the dragging to be too much or to gather it too much. Remember, we are dealing with a wide skirt that doesn't have zip. So if you want it easy, to do it easily, you can measure the wideness of that skirt to gather to the wideness of that skirt, so that you won't have to gather and ungather it. Okay, after gathering, this is the gathered piece. So the next step is for us to turn the edge, the down edge here. You know, it's just cut. We did not turn it to have a fine finishing. So I just, is it turn, we call it, or pipe it, piping the edge so that we'll have a fine finishing. And that's what I'm going to do to 8 of them. After you gather or you pipe your edges, look at it, it's fine. I will know the front and back of your fabric, so I'm turning to the back so at the front will have a fine finishing. That's it. So after piping the down and gather the up, we have to cover up the side. Join the 2 sides, cover it up so that it will be very round. Going to join the other edge. Now when you fold it together, remember we'll have 3 years, and when you fold it together, you cover this edge so that when you are sewing on top of that line, you sew round. Double stitch, and I have covered the edge. You can still iron it. I don't want to color that long thread because it's for my gathering. Till I join it with the inner and be sure I am saved before I can cut out that thread. At this stage, I'm trying to show you how I join it. But once you draw your line, it's for you to just join the gathered step to each line of of that base, you know, the lining will draw line. That's how we are going to add it all. So I'm struggling to wear it inside. See, I'm measuring it for it to be equal. I'm not going to sew this, so I'm going to fold it. I'm going to wear as if you are wearing a skirt on top. As if I'm wearing it on top of it, and sew this way on top. So when you sew this way, you put your step down. It will have a neat finishing. Example, let me show you how I did it. Just watch. Let me show you. I don't know how to explain it very. I see when you see the steps, in case for us to have a neat finish, in case somebody even wants to open the steps and see, he would not see, or he or she will not see where it was sewn. Let me show you from this video. So I'm going to show around. This is how I'll go around. That's why I covered the other edge, so that I can go around with this skirt, go around with these gathers. When you sew finish, you bring it down. This sewing is down inside, while the edges, the front. After sewing now, I bring it down. You will notice that you will not see the place I sewed. After sewing round to all the lines, you get your perfect skirt. I hope this video was helpful. If this video was helpful, why don't you share to somebody that need it? Like our video and subscribe to the channel for more tutorial. I have been away, but I'm back to give you back to back what you need. Bye.